Is it just me, or did we just watch arguably the best episode of Gilded Age so far? Like, I know the show has always been good, but let's be honest. Season 3, Episode 7, titled Excommunicated, took things to a completely different level. And now, our expectations for the season finale is higher than ever. Rightfully so. Thankfully, we know exactly what to expect from the Gilded Age Season 3, Episode 8, including a sudden death that will shock us all. So, let's talk about it. In Episode 7, what really threw everything into chaos was Ward McAllister publishing his book, titled Society as I Have Found It. He didn't use any names, but, come on, we all know who he was talking about the entire time. It wasn't just the elite of New York that were scandalized. Even people close to him felt utterly betrayed. The book hinted Agnes' private financial disaster, Oscar's sexuality, and even Bertha's family image. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, the most brutal blow was absolutely the dragging of Mrs. Astor's daughter Charlotte into all these, making her divorce public in a way that guaranteed headlines. Whether you like her or not, let's be honest. No one deserves their business to be public this way. As you can expect, the fallout was immediate and brutal. We watched Mrs. Astor, Agnes, Ada, Mrs. Fish, and even Bertha team up to exile McAllister socially, and it was honestly a little satisfying. But the confrontation between McAllister and Mrs. Astor was the one that set the tone for the rest of the episode, and perhaps even the season. McAllister was visibly stunned, trying to defend himself by saying, "I made you what you are." But all his words were in vain. He is no longer the sweetheart of the society. He is now an outcast who made the worst mistake of his life by betraying the people who trusted him the most, and he will pay for it even further in the final episode. By the way, the mess with the book caused another major shift, as Mrs. Astor, who was too conflicted to invite her divorced daughter to her Newport ball, decided not to host it at all. And so, of course, Bertha swooped in and claimed the event for herself. What else did you expect from her? Typical Bertha behavior. She even hinted at doing something very radical for the era, which is inviting divorced women. I know it sounds funny. But we have to admit that's a huge move for this world, and I loved how bold she was about it. In the season finale, we will watch Bertha having the ball, but it won't look like what she has dreamed of at all. I'll talk more on that in a second, though. McAllister begged Bertha to include him too, but she shut that down quickly. She said, "You made your choices," to him and moved on. Finally, after years of constant trial and error, she's on top. And yet, is it just me? Or did she feel extremely hollow afterwards? Like she is getting everything she has ever wanted, and yet it doesn't feel that rewarding at all, which will be one of the main themes in the final episode. One reason behind it is the fact that at home, things are falling apart. George won't forgive her for how she manipulated Gladys's marriage, and he won't move back in. Even when she shared her big win about the Newport ball, neither George nor Larry seemed to care. And we could all feel how alone she really is. Because, let's be honest, her dominance in society means nothing when the people she loves want nothing to do with her. And this realization will mark the season finale, as Bertha will basically leave the ball she is hosting to simply be with her family. But more on that later. By the way, after so much suspicion, Church and Mrs. Bruce finally uncovered the mole, who is, of course, Miss Andre, as we have all guessed. Even though we have guessed it, I have to admit, the reveal was done so cleverly, with Church planning a false story to test her loyalty. When they saw her exchange an envelope with a man, it was confirmed she was selling Russell's secrets. She confessed when confronted, and just like that, she was gone. Another lady's maid down, but at least Bertha doesn't have to worry about scandal leaking anymore. Well, at least for now. Now we have to talk about Oscar, another victim of the leaks. After John's death, he's completely heartbroken. But because their relationship was secret, he can't even grieve properly. Not gonna lie, it's kind of gutting to watch. The thing is, Oscar's family doesn't really understand his grief, but Marion does. She reminds Agnes how much John did for Oscar and later visits him herself. She said, "I guess the truth," making it clear she sees him and isn't judging. After everything Oscar's been through, it was such a powerful moment to see someone acknowledge his pain. It deepened their bond in a way that really moved me. But let me know what you thought about it. In the season finale, we know that he will meet with an old ally once again. And it seems like that ally is none other than Gladys, who will be in New York for the ball. She will console him for his loss, while he gives him tactics to survive in London's high society. He will even say to her, "You will be stronger than Ms. Astor," which is a bold claim to say the least. But with Oscar's support and directions, I think Gladys can truly be the Queen of London's socialite. Agnes, meanwhile, is still navigating life post-wealth. She's been sharp-tongued and bitter most of this season, especially with Ada, but in episode 7, something shifted finally. She gets approached by Mrs. Foster from the New York Heritage Society, and at first she brushed her off, of course. I mean, it is Agnes we are talking about. But when Marion needed someone to host a suffrage meeting, Ada volunteered their home, giving Mrs. Foster another excuse to visit. Agnes clearly isn't ready to give up her social importance, and Mrs. Foster is unknowingly giving her a new direction to focus that energy. It's fascinating to see that spark come back to Agnes, even if it's misdirected at first. In the trailer for episode 8, we see that Ada is sitting at the main seat at the dining table, meaning that she is finally the boss of the home. Agnes, on the other hand, is directing her energy to the feminist movement, turning into a suffragette day by day, which is so exciting to see. Meanwhile, as predicted, Larry came back from Morenci with incredible news. He secured the copper mines, which means George can move forward with his business and fix everything that went wrong financially. It should have been a triumphant moment, and yet instead, he came home to find Marion's letter, breaking off their engagement. He tries to speak with her, but Ada intercepts him. Ada is sympathetic but doesn't explain anything. Larry, who is visibly stunned and hurt, goes to tell his parents, only for Bertha to immediately blame Marion. Larry, clearly fed up, snaps at her, suspecting she meddled in the breakup. He said, "You always get your way, and now I'm paying the price." Honestly, I get his frustration completely. But still, I did not expect him to lash out this much to his mother, and it seems like this incident is the one that triggers Bertha's realization regarding her expectations from the life. If even her beloved son is thinking this low of her, is she truly in the right? By the way, I kept hoping Marion would change her mind, especially when Jack confirmed Larry's version of events, which is that nothing actually happened during that night out. Marion had accused him of going to a house of ill repute, which wasn't the case. Larry only had a drink. Not gonna lie, it hurt to see her not even give him the benefit of the doubt. But I also have to admit that I would have probably acted the same if I was in Marion's shoes. So, personally, I cannot blame her either. But let me know what you thought of her actions. Right now, it is clear that she understands her mistake. And in the trailer for the season finale, we see her basically trying to get Larry back. But Larry is broken. He feels dismissed and treated unfairly. And trailer suggests that he won't be welcoming Marion back that easily. Because, interestingly, by blaming him for being not trustworthy, Marion broke Larry's trust. In the trailer, he rejects her, showing that she needs to work a lot harder to get him back. Peggy, too, found herself in the middle of more drama, this time thanks to William Kirkland's annoying mother. Mrs. Kirkland hears from someone that Peggy had been mourning a child in Philadelphia, and without bothering to understand the full context, she rushes to tell William a warped version of the story. Honestly, I'm shocked to see that even without social media, people were very capable of getting gossip from all around the world. It is honestly impressive. But we all know that Peggy's baby was a deeply traumatic part of her past and one of the hardest moments from season 1. For Mrs. Kirkland to weaponize it like this, especially with her history of colorism and disdain for Peggy's family, is absolutely appalling. Thankfully, William does the decent thing. He asks Peggy directly, listens to her, and doesn't jump to conclusions. Still, the trailer for the season finale suggests that even after careful listening, William does not feel confident in his relationship with Peggy anymore. He feels for her, yes, but he is no longer certain if he wants to fight for this relationship, knowing that she kept such a big secret from him. In season finale, Peggy explains over and over again why she could not talk about it beforehand. And yet, it is not certain if William will change his mind. Meanwhile, in the trailer, Peggy's mother faces Mrs. Kirkland on her behavior, reminding her that even though she constantly points at the faults at others, she is blind to her own shortcomings. And honestly, I love Peggy's mother for defending her daughter this wholeheartedly. I wish this was all we had to talk about today, but no. In episode 7's ending, we witnessed one of the biggest plot twists of the show so far. BAM. George is shot. A delivery man walks into his office and fires a gun, and the screen cuts. I don't know about you guys, but I was left staring at the screen in disbelief. Like there is no way that anyone has seen this coming. I don't know who pulled the trigger or why, but what I do know is that the Gilded Age is not messing around. Julian Fellows, who is the creator of the show, is no stranger to breaking our hearts, as Downton Abbey was filled with brutal and sudden deaths. So I wouldn't be shocked to see that George is truly dead. Unfortunately, the trailer for the season finale also suggests that George dies without even getting a chance to say goodbye to Bertha. The sad thing is, they weren't even in best of terms in their relationship, meaning that Bertha will forever remember that she broke George's heart and trust, and will blame herself for this brutal ending. And this will be the final realization of Bertha before she completely changes characters in season 4. We are moving from the ambitious Bertha to sorrowful Bertha. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. For more weekly updates, discussions, and analysis on the Gilded Age, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.